Cleopatra, what a fascinating woman she was. Let's journey back in time to the fascinating world of ancient Egypt, where we'll explore 10 surprising facts about one of the most iconic figures in history, Cleopatra. Hey guys, Leroy Kenton here, you're watching FTD Facts. Let's jump into this episode. Number 10 leads us to the meaning of Cleopatra. So when we look at Cleopatra's name, it means glory of her father or her father's fame in Greek. And it was a name that was bestowed upon her due to her exceptional intelligence, which her father greatly admired. Now, as a result, she received tutoring in a wide range of subjects from a very young age. Her full name is actually Cleopatra VII Cleopatra, and she was the 7th princess in her family to bear this name, and her daughter was the last to be named Cleopatra, thus bringing an end to this tradition of naming of Cleopatra. Next up at number 9, it was very questionable. Was she super beautiful and super attractive, or was she just average? So Cleopatra's legacy is definitely known worldwide thanks to her numerous contributions to the Egyptian empire and her reputation as one of the most powerful queens in recorded history. And there are many ancient texts that describe her as exceptionally beautiful, often likening her appearance to that of a goddess. However, modern historians have actually cast some doubt on these descriptions, suggesting that the sculptures and paintings depicting her may not actually reflect the beauty standards of the time. So check it out. Upon examining ancient carvings as well as sculptures, scholars have noted that while Cleopatra's features, such as her very prominent nose, as well as her strong jawline, could be considered more masculine by modern standards. In any case though, some argue that these traits may have been considered attractive during the era in which she lived, according to the beauty standards of that time period. For fact number 8, Cleopatra was not Egyptian. Even though Cleopatra was born in Egypt, right, her lineage can be traced back to Macedonian Greece and Ptolemy I Soter. He was a general of Alexander the Great. Following Alexander the Great's death in 323 BC, Ptolemy took control of Egypt and established a dynasty of Greek-speaking rulers that endured for nearly 300 years. And despite not being of Egyptian descent, Cleopatra adopted numerous ancient Egyptian traditions and was the first of the Ptolemaic dynasty to become proficient in the Egyptian language. Cleopatra was a woman though who understood and could speak multiple different languages. She began studying Greek at a young age and eventually became proficient in speaking, reading, and writing it. In addition to Greek, she learned multiple other languages like Egyptian, Ethiopian, Aramaic, Syriac, Median, Parthian, and Arabic, and this proved to be very valuable during her reign as Queen of Egypt. Her extensive education and familiarity with the Egyptian customs and traditions earned her greater popularity among the Egyptian people. For fact number 6, did you know that Cleopatra was a product of incest? As was common in royal families, the Ptolemaic dynasty frequently engaged in intermarriage to maintain the purity of their bloodline. Over a dozen of Cleopatra's ancestors married cousins or siblings, and it is probable that her own parents were siblings. In adherence to this practice, Cleopatra went on to marry both of her teenage brothers, who each acted as her ceremonial spouse and co-ruler during different periods of her reign. Next up at fact number 5, this is a very interesting one. So Cleopatra's life is full of intriguing details, such as her involvement in a drinking club with her Roman lover Mark Antony, known as the Inimitable Livers Club, which began back in 41 BC. At the height of its popularity, the group claimed to be a society dedicated to the worship of the Greek god of wine and winemaking, Dionysus, and it celebrated him through drinking. However, some saw the club as an excuse for indulgence and immorality, and members of the club held secret nightly feasts and preparations away from the public eye. On top of that, Cleopatra and Mark Antony would oftentimes put on disguises to spend the evening playing pranks on the people of Egypt, as well as, doing other things. From there, let's look at fact number 4. Cleopatra identified as a goddess. Cleopatra believed herself to be descended from the goddess Isis, whom the Egyptians revered as the goddess of the moon and the daughter of the Egyptian god Geb, the god of earth, and Nut, the goddess of the sky. Isis was also the wife of Osiris, the god of the underworld, and the mother of Horus according to Egyptian mythology. As the goddess of life and magic, Isis was highly regarded in ancient Egypt for her protection of women and children and her healing abilities. And it's for this reason that she was considered one of the greatest goddesses in Egyptian mythology. Also, did you know that Cleopatra never got divorced? Although Cleopatra was married several times, she did not follow the customary divorce procedures. Polygamy was widely accepted during this era, and individuals could legally marry as many spouses as they desired. And Cleopatra maintained amicable relations with her lovers and continued to be married to them throughout her reign. And this was advantageous because she used these relationships to gain access to the power that they held, as well as partial control over their armies. Cleopatra also is known for having a very particular diet. According to historical records, Queen Cleopatra was known for being very particular about the foods that she consumed during her reign as Queen of Egypt. At that time, many people in Egypt followed a precursor to the Mediterranean diet, and their meals usually revolved around simple dishes that incorporated meat and a variety of fish. Translations of ancient papyri have revealed that Queen Cleopatra had a fondness for stuffed pigeons and often served this dish herself. Her meals also typically featured seasonal vegetables and fava bean soup, along with other items such as mutton, nuts, figs, honey, and Greek wine, all chosen to satisfy her discerning taste buds. Ending this episode off at number 1, let's talk about her medical treatise. Cleopatra titled her medical manuscript Cosmetics and began compiling her knowledge on medical and pharmacological discoveries. Her manuscripts documented various ancient Egyptian techniques and remedies for common health problems, ranging from minor issues such as dandruff and hair loss to more serious illnesses. In addition to treatments for these ailments, Cleopatra also researched ways to maintain her own physical strength and health to ensure her continued ability to govern the Egyptian dynasty. These written records serve as a testament to Cleopatra's intellectual capabilities. And that concludes this episode looking at 10 surprising facts about Cleopatra. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up. Thanks for hanging out with me in this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.